Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everybody. We are today starting the first of our ziarats in Baghdad Sharif, and the first one we are doing is that of Imam-e-Azam, Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. So I will show you a bit further once we go inside, but this is so we are starting the first of the ziarats in Baghdad. This is inside the masjid here of Imam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. We will be heading towards the Rosa Park in a little while. Beautiful, it's only just opening up now. Unlike the other places where the Shias have control, they are open 24 hours a day. The Sunni Imams and most of the ones in Baghdad only open at certain times. Assalamu alaikum. We are now inside the Rosa Park of Imam-e-Azam, Imam-e-Azam Abu Hanifa Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, and he is of the four main Imams, he is the main Imam. This is why Imam-e-Azam Abu Hanifa. Traditionally it's a lot more the Hanfis, the ones who follow his fiqh, are mainly predominantly in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh and those countries. We are now just next to the graveyard next to Imam Abu Hanifa, and this is the mazar of Hazrat Imam Shibli, who was one of the closest students, murid of Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi. We are about to enter this, and inshallah I will explain a bit more a bit later. So we are now inside the mazar of Hazrat Abu Bakr Shibli Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, who was one of the special students of Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi Razillah Ta'ala anhu. Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi Razillah Ta'ala anhu stated about Hazrat Abu Bakr Shibli that do not look into his eyes. Do not look into his eyes, because his eyes you see Allah. This is a view of Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa's madrasa from here, from the Qabristan, as you can see. And as I turn around, this green dome is Hazrat Abu Bakr Shibli, where we've just been inside and we've just done dua. So this is the graveyard, as you can see. Very old graveyard, probably dating back many centuries, back to the time. We are now at the masjid and mazar of Hazrat Bashar al-Hafi. Hazrat Bashar al-Hafi, a wali of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As you can see, the rest of this area where we've just walked through, they're demolishing all of this. So the guide doesn't know why they're doing this. They've basically asked all the people to leave this area. So I don't know whether they're going to expand it or whatever. But for the time being, it's just all looks like all destruction. I am now inside the mazar of Hazrat Bashar al-Hafi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. Bashar was his name, and al-Hafi means the barefoot. So because after Allah's forgiveness, Hazrat Bashar al-Hafi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh never ever wore shoes again. So that became like his title. So people knew him as Bashar al-Hafi, Bashar the barefoot. We are now at the Rosa of Hazrat Sheikh Abul Hussain Al-Nuri. He's one of the teachers. He was the teacher of Hazrat Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti Rahmatullah alayh, the famous Ajmer Sharif, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti. We are now at the mazar of Hazrat Abu Hussain Al-Nuri, who was the teacher of Hazrat Khwaja Gharib Nawaz, the more famous, the one in Ajmer Sharif in India. He was his teacher. We are now about to enter the mazar of Hazrat Junaid al-Baghdadi Rahmatullah alayh and Hazrat Abul Hussain Asari Sakti. I will make further footage as we go inside of the places here. We are here at the Mazar of Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, and also in the background there is the Mazar of his Sheikh Hazrat Sari Sakti Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. These are still within Baghdad. All of the ziyarats we are doing now are within Baghdad Sharif. These are some of the earliest, the friends of Allah, the awliya of the very early times. We are now entering the maqam of Hazrat Yusha bin Noon, famously from Surah Kahf, that where he is with Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. This is a maqam. It does not mean that he's buried here. It means that he would have resided here for some time or something like this. So not necessarily, this is not a grave. It is the difference between a maqam and a mazar. Hazrat Yusha bin Noon alayhi salam. We are now entering the Mazar Park of Hazrat Bahlul Dana Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, and I will try to explain a bit about him when we're there, inshallah. We are at the Mazar of Hazrat Bahlul Dana, very famous for one of his karamats, one of his which was at the time of Khalifa Harun Rashid. This video is too short to explain that, but he was one of the great walis of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed him with. Inshallah, at some point, if anybody's interested, I can explain the karamat. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are now approaching the mazar of Sheikh Maruf al-Karhi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. He was the Dada Pir of Hazur Ghaus Azam Razila Ta'ala anhu. Dada Pir means that he was not the direct Pir, but he was Ghaus Azam's Pir's Pir. That is what Dada Pir means. I'm inside the masjid of Hazrat Maruf al-Karhi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, and it looks like here 12th Rabiul Awwal will start after Maghrib tonight. So it looks like the preparations are on for that. Inshallah, we will be in the Bargah of Hazur Ghaus Azam. We intend to be there when Maulud starts, inshallah. This is the Mazar of Hazrat Maruf Karhi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. As I was saying before, Hazrat Maruf Karhi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh was the grandfather Pir of Hazur Ghaus Azam Razila Ta'ala anhu, which means Dada Pir, which other words, he was his Pir's Pir. He was originally from a Christian family but became Muslim. And I've been told Hazrat Maruf Karhi Rahmatullah alayh was the first Shaykhul Islam other than from the Ahle Bayt. We are now in this space, which is the original house we are told was the Imam Maruf al-Karhi. That place at the back was his original burial place. This bit here was the Shaykh al-Hadith. He told me his name, but I've forgotten. That was Maruf Karhi's brothers in there. And this where Hazrat Junaid Baghdadi did his chilla. And this where Hazur Ghaus Azam Razila Ta'ala did his chilla. We are at the Mazar of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, who was the fourth of the four Imams. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. This is his Mazar, again within the city of Baghdad. We are in the courtyard of Hazrat Umar Shahabuddin Sohrawardi Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, and you've heard of the Sohrawardi Silsila, so he is the founder of the Sohrawardi Silsila. His parents didn't have any children, and then they went to the Bargah of Hazur Ghaus Azam Razila Ta'ala anhu, and he was born as a dua from Hazrat Hazur Ghaus Azam Razila Ta'ala anhu. This is the Mazar of Imam Shahabuddin Umar Sohrawardi. Imam Shahabuddin Umar Sohrawardi, who is the founder of the Sohrawardi Silsila. This is his mazar, and if we look around, pan around, there's a bit of history there which I've already done a photo of, and this looks like the Khalifa of Hazrat Umar Shahabuddin Sohrawardi is the Khalifa. This is the mazar of Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh, and this is just the courtyard. As you can see, there's not a lot of maintenance here and whatever. Unfortunately, all the places we've been to, unfortunately or fortunately, but where the control is by the Shias, we've seen how wonderfully they have maintained those and looked after those, whereas these it's not the same. Entering the mazar of Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. So this is Imam Ghazali Rahmatullah Ta'ala alayh. This is the Ghaus-e Azam's madrasa from here. As you can see, where up to the Minar, that is all of this complex. And 12 Rabiul Awwal has started here. 12 Rabiul Awwal has started here. So 12 Rabiul Awwal Mubarak to everybody. We have now entered the complex of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. As you can see, mashallah, lots of people. It's 12 Rabiul Awwal has started here. And look at this time. So it's just after Maghrib time. It's not Isha time yet. Lots of people, lots of activity, wonderful sights. MashaAllah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And Eid Miladun Nabi Mubarak to everybody. Today is the Eid. It is the 12th of Rabiul Awwal, and I am inside the Langar Khana of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. I'm walking through the Langar Khana. I'll just show you. It's not very busy at the moment. We're here at a good time, good early time, and you can see we have now, it's 12th Rabiul Awwal according to the English dates. We have come back to Hazur Ghaus-e Azam's Astana today because the other day it was very busy. As I showed you, it was very busy. That's the rest of our team who are now coming out of the Langar Khana. So the Langar Khana is dead opposite from the Astana, as you can see. There's the Langar Khana, and we have just been there, had a bit of langar, and anybody who wanted to contribute towards the langar, they have done. We are now in the courtyard of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam's Mazar Park. Where I'm pointing now is one of the sons, Sheikh Saleh bin Abdul Qadir Gilani and Sheikh Abdul Jabbar bin Abdul Qadir Gilani. So these are the two of the sons of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. The entrance to the Darbar is over there, but I'm just taking a pan view of the so this other day we didn't even have a chance to move about in it. This was absolutely chock-a-block, as I showed in the night video 2 days ago. We are now inside the Darbar of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. And what a blessing. Today is, according to the UK dates, today is the 12th of Rabiul Awwal. Alhamdulillah, on the 12th of Rabiul Awwal last year we were in Medina Park, in the Bargah of Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and this year Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala has blessed us and sent us to the Bargah of one of the greatest Sufi saints. Just come out of the Rosa Park of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, and this is the masjid annexed next to it. This is the masjid of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. This is inside the Rosa Park of Hazur Ghaus-e Azam Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, inside the Rosa Park. This is the last of our Ziarats. I'm approaching the mazars of Hazrat Musa Qasim, and who was the 7th Imam and Hazrat Muhammad Jawad, who was the 8th Imam. Sorry, he was the 9th Imam. So it's grandfather and grandson here. Good news, we've entered the courtyard of the Mazar, and we've been told that yes, phones are allowed. So inshallah I'll be able to make some footage inside, which I will do in a bit more details. Here are a few more of the people from our group. So good news, footage is allowed. So inshallah we will do that after we've read namaz and go inside. Yes, footage is not allowed inside the Mazars. So obviously I've just managed to sneak a couple of photos, but footage is not allowed. And just as a final reminder, so this is the 7th Imam and the 9th Imam. Imam Musa Kazim, he was the grandfather, and then Hazrat Muhammad Jawad, the grandson. So 7th and 9th Imams.